Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. When a traffic stop was initiated on Main Street, the driver of the vehicle pulled into the Valero convenience store located less than 1,000 feet from Buford Park Skate Park, a drug-free zone. With the smell of marijuana emitting from the vehicle, a probable cause search was conducted and a cloth bag was found at the rear left floorboard. Inside the bag was located a sealed bag of K1 and two small baggies containing a crystalline substance believed to be methamphetamine. Lafayette Trey Crosby, age 21, of Silver Springs, was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, more than 1 gram but less than 4 grams in a drug-free zone. He was also arrested for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1A, less than 2 ounces. Crosby is in Hopkins County Jail being held on a $16,000 bond. Special Crimes Unit initiated a traffic stop in the 300 block of Oak Avenue, and the driver of a 2004 Saab was visibly nervous. A pat-down of the driver located a zipper pouch containing 9.8 grams of suspected methamphetamine. Justin Blaine Sicard, age 28, of Winsboro, was arrested and charged with possession of the controlled substance, less than 200 grams, and on a warrant for driving the wrong way on a one-way roadway. Sicard confessed to possession of the meth and to selling meth. Hopkins County K-9 Molly is certified in detecting methamphetamine, marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and MDMA ecstasy. Molly assisted in the arrest of Joshua Logan Martin, age 28, of Pittsburgh, when the Hopkins County deputy made a traffic stop on a Dodge pickup with a defective driver's side headlamp. The stop was made at State Highway 11 East and Farm to Market Road 69. Martin said he was nervous around police and said he had previous drug convictions for methamphetamine and was a former member of the Cossack motorcycle gang. He remained in his vehicle while Molly did a free air sniff. Molly alerted on a partially open driver's side window. The alert led the officer to a gray jewelry box. Inside the box, a clear plastic bag containing a crystalline substance believed to be meth, which field tested to 3.6 grams of meth. Martin was charged with possession. He's in Hopkins County Jail, held on a $25,000 bond. On KSST Radio today and in KSSTradio.com, we have a story regarding the Saltillo Kerry Gorman fundraiser for scholarships for Saltillo students. 8 students will be assisted in this next year as they begin college. $8,000 was raised in the event. Here's Don Julian with a report on UIL, academic competition, and sports.
First in news, the Wildcats UIL academic team qualified 9 students for the state meet next month at a regional meet this past Friday and Saturday in Prosper. We learn more from Wildcats UIL academic coordinator Gerald Grafton.
Had a lot of good things going on last week. To start the week, we found out that we had some essays that were accepted into the Barbara Jordan and the Latino essay contest, and so those we had Anne-Marie Gunn, Rachel Bramlett, and Brianna Wooten got their essays accepted, and they choose 12 finalists in each of those essays. It's a cross grade level. I mean, it's from 1A to 6A, so it's there's only 12 chosen, and we had 3 essays in the Barbara Jordan accepted and 2 essays in the Latino essay contest. So we're real excited for those girls there, get to go and see if they won an award in Austin when we go to state competition. Also last week we had our Region 2 academic championships, and we brought, I think we had like 16 students that went to that, and we had several that placed and that are also state qualifiers. In Ready Riding, Anne-Marie Gunn placed 3rd, and she's a state qualifier. In LD Debate, Noah Hammonds finished, he was really strong. He finished 4th place. He's a state alternate. In Spelling and Vocabulary, Natalie Cruz got 3rd place and was a state qualifier as an individual, and Chase Charlton was 4th place, and that would normally be considered a state alternate, except both of those girls will be advancing with the first place team as state qualifiers. And the other members of the first place team included Sarah Harper and Giselle Garcia, so all those girls will end up going to state. In prose interpretation, Rachel Bramlett was 4th place. She's a state alternate. And Sarah Harper was 6th place. They each made it into finals, which is a great accomplishment to make it to finals at Regent. Poetry interpretation, J.C. Reed also made it to finals and finished 6th place. And editorial writing, we had 2 girls that placed. Natalie Cruz placed 3rd, and she's a state qualifier. Angela Brown placed 4th in editorials, and she's a state alternate. In social studies, Brandon Hodges competed, and he took home 2nd place, and he's a state qualifier. And then in literary criticism, we had a sweep in literary criticism. Carissa Carter, Natalie Cruz, Lainey Whittle finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place in that order in their state qualifiers, and they got the 1st place team with Celeste Leeds Liberty rounding out that team. We're real excited. All these kids are going to be going to state on May the 3rd and the 4th. We're really proud of the way that they performed this past weekend.
In sports, the Wildcats baseball team struggled against Texas High in a 10-3 loss in Texarkana Saturday. The game was played in cold and blustery weather Saturday after a postponement Friday due to rain. Wildcats baseball coach Jared Hammock said Texas High played like a team fighting for its playoff life. The Wildcats could not match the Tigers' intensity. The Wildcats were out-hit 11-6. The Tigers played error-free ball while the Wildcats had 3 miscues, and Wildcats pitchers issued 6 walks. Trouble started early for the Wildcats after they went 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first. Texas High scored 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the first after a wind-blown drop fly ball. The Wildcats cut the deficit in half with a run in the top of the second as Jackson Cheney doubled and then scored on a Cameron Harrison RBI double. Texas High then blew the game open with 5 runs in a nightmarish bottom of the third for the Wildcats. A couple of throwing errors helped the Tigers in the big inning, and the Tigers were up 7-1 after 3 innings. The Tigers added another run in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Wildcats had another errant throw in that inning. The Tigers were up 8-1 after 5 innings. And Texas High scored their final 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and they went up 10-1. The Wildcats managed a couple of runs in the top of the 7th. Harrison and Jace Thompson began the inning with walks. Gavin Millsap's single loaded the bases with no one out. Austin Dodd drove in Harrison with a ground ball that resulted in a force out at second. Caden Argenbright hit a single that scored Thompson. The rally was then snuffed out on an unusual double play. The Tigers' right fielder made a nice catch on a fly ball, and then the ball was thrown to second to double off a Wildcat who was running as soon as the ball was hit. The loss was costly for the Wildcats as they fell out of a first-place tie with Hallsville, who had an open date on Friday. The Wildcats are now 7-2 in district play, and they're half game behind Hallsville at 7-1. The Wildcats slipped to 14-9 for the season. Coach Hammock noted that the Wildcats will have to go almost a week before they have a chance to get rid of that bad taste of defeat. Next, the Wildcats play Mount Pleasant at home on Friday. The Wildcats' final 3 district games are all at home. Wildcat soccer team had 9 players on the all-district soccer team recently selected by the district's coaches, including 3 players on the first team. Midfielder Angel Tavera was named first team all-district, along with defenders Brandon Diosdado and DJ Abram. Making the second team all-district were forward Jonathan Alvarez and defender Christian Huff. Making honorable mention all-district were Jonathan Lopez, Eduardo Ramirez, Omar Hernandez, and Axel Solorzano. The Wildcats were the district's 4th seed in the playoffs with a district mark of 6-6. The Wildcats lost a hard-fought 2-1 match in by-district against Lovejoy, and the Wildcats ended the season with a 13-13 record.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.